We're going to talk about the NBA playoffs. Let's hit the intro. And ladies and gentlemen, we're back with the one and only Allied Rivals podcast. My name is AJ Herschel the Kid, and right there you've got my man, Cademan Bauer. Today we're going to be giving our predictions for the first round of the NBA playoffs. How you doing, man?
Amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm actually doing pretty good. Been playing some basketball, and I don't know. School's going good right now. So,
nice.
But AJ, I know you got that hurt ankle, but
yeah. For those of you who weren't there to see it in real time, Cayman and I were playing basketball, and he beat me to the outside on a drive to the lane, and I messed up my ankle stepping on his heel. So, yep, I'm out for a couple days, but we'll be back better than ever for the rematch.
Yes, sir. All right.
But Cayman, to me, it feels like the NBA playoffs snuck up on me, and I think it's probably because it happened so late last year because everything got shut down. It didn't happen until the fall. And now I'm here stuck at the end of May. And then the NBA playoffs showed up. I'm like, what is happening?
I love it.
Yeah. And the play-in games. So we're done 2 play-in games, Cademan. What are you thinking about them? How do you feel about them so far?
I think I had originally picked the Wizards to beat the Celtics. But I kind of forgot beast mode Jason Tatum in the playoffs.
Told you.
He's so good. You did tell me. He's really good. And I mean, now they're in the playoffs playing the Nets, so good luck with that. But then the Pacers absolutely destroyed the Hornets.
Right?
And it'll be interesting to see if they can beat. It looks like the Celtics. I mean, not the Celtics, the Wizards. If they can beat the Wizards for that. Yeah. So, I don't know. That's interesting.
It's crazy. Like, I know the Pacers have a fine lineup, but they didn't have to send LaMelo home like that. 144, 117. That's mean, dude. I didn't see that coming at all. I thought this was going to be a close game. This was one I told you I thought the Hornets were going to win this one. And they put up 40 points in the first quarter. What on earth?
Yeah, they were steamrolling. They were going crazy. And right now the Grizzlies and Spurs are going at it. Yeah. And it's a pretty close game right now, 2-point game in the second quarter. So we'll keep watching that game.
Yeah, and AJ, I remember we had talked about this, and you said you thought you'd pick the Spurs, if I'm correct about that, right?
Yeah, I did. I think the Spurs are a little bit underrated. I like the Spurs still.
Yeah, I'm pulling Grizzlies. I like Ja Morant. I think he'll be able to take them to the next game. Because for them, I mean, this is a win or go home type situation. So this is going to be this is their biggest game of the entire season, and whoever wins is going to have to go face against the Lakers and Warriors. And I guess we're already jumping into predictions at this point. So why not go ahead and get started? We already said Grizzly. We already gave our predictions. I'm Grizzlies. Cade's team Spurs. But on the other side, I'd like to make a public apology to Jalen Rose for saying it was ridiculous that the Lakers had a 30% chance of falling to the play-in. That is my bad. Cade, we called them as our early NBA Finals we projected them to make it for the second time in a row, 1 seed again. Yeah. You said they had a great offseason, which they did. They got Andre Drummond, and they're the 7 seed. What happened?
Injuries, that's a big part. I mean, AD was out for a while, enough to make them go on a big losing streak, and LeBron was out for how long was that? It was forever. It doesn't even matter.
And a month, I think.
Yeah, a month. And even when LeBron came back, they just wasn't working. So, yeah, I think you could blame a lot of it on the injuries.
For sure. And I still don't understand what is going on with the Lakers anyway, because they should be such a great team that they'd be able to win games, period. But dropping games to the Kings, the Raptors, they lost to the Clippers near the end of the year. I'm like, this is not the same team that we saw last year. And we talk a lot, at least together, about how the Lakers, I mean, they can turn it on at any moment and start playing peak basketball. And they're finishing the season on a 5-game win streak, but still, how are you feeling? You correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you say you're predicting the Warriors to pull an upset?
I think they will, just because of how the Lakers have been playing.
Interesting.
Just how the Lakers have been playing, and I mean the Warriors don't have a good offense. They actually have a pretty bad one, but the Lakers has been worse for the most part. And I mean Steph and LeBron both have ton of playoff experience, and this is going to be a really good game, I think. But I think the Warriors are going to end up taking it, just because they've been more together the past 2 months, really.
Yeah, I am a little bit worried about the Warriors, especially if they want to make a playoff run, though, because, I mean, their last game against the Grizzlies, it took Curry 46 points to be able to pull off that win. I just don't know how I feel about them for the long haul, because I just don't know if they have the depth to be able to compete with a lot of the bigger teams. But we'll see. I'm going to say Lakers take it over the Warriors right now, because I think the Lakers are going to be ready. I think they're going to be rested. I think they're going to be hungry to win this game. I think they take it. But then I think the Warriors end up knocking off the Grizzlies in the second play-in game to grab the 8th seed. What do you think, Caben? What's going to happen in the Western Conference play-in?
So I think that both the Warriors and Lakers will make it. I think the Warriors are going to beat the Lakers tonight. And then I think the Lakers will beat the winner of Memphis and San Antonio. So I think they're both going to make it, just the seeding will be different.
Gotcha. We had a guy in our comment section early before we even started, Lightning Bauer, saying, here we go. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, Lightning Bauer, it's always great to have you with us. Cademan, Eastern Conference, though, the one other play-in, you already said, the Celtics dominated, but now we've got Wizards versus Pacers, and your favorite dynamic duo outside of Giannis and Middleton of Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook pulled it together from worst in the league to make it to the chance of the playoffs. Do they finish the job and get in against the Pacers? What do you think?
I think so. I think Westbrook and Beal are going to beat the Pacers. I mean, I really like their connection, and they're just both really great guys with a ton of talent. And the Pacers had one huge win against the Hornets. And, I mean, in my opinion, the Hornets don't compare to the Wizards. Yeah, you feel me?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
They're all somewhat mediocre, like we're saying. The play-in is just to find out who is the most mediocre team.
Especially in the Eastern Conference, yes.
Yep. And we're going to find out who's more mediocre in this game. And that's going to be the Wizards. The Pacers are just bad.
Ouch, that's rude. Oh, my goodness. I think I'm going to pick the Pacers to win. I think they ride that height of momentum that they took off the Hornets. I mean, I think Sabonis is going to get himself another double-double. Did you see him? 21 boards. 21 boards against the Hornets. Big boy. I think he pulls another one of those. I think Malcolm Brogdon's going to have a great game. And I think Keelan Martin's also going to have a good game off the bench as well. So I'm going to pick the Pacers, actually, over the Wizards.
So we're contradicting in all our picks so far.
For the most part,
It's going to be pretty interesting.
This is. So speaking of predictions, though, how about we go ahead and jump into the actual first-round predictions now and say who we got. Let's pull up the bracket that we have next to us. You want to start Eastern or Western Conference, Cade?
Let's go Western.
Western Conference it is. All right, number 1, Utah Jazz versus ? And for me, I'm saying this is going to be the Warriors. For you, you think it's going to be the Lakers. Yeah. What do you think about this, Cade? Jazz, best team in basketball. What do you think?
Yeah, I think either way, the Jazz are just going to go roll over them, man.
Really?
The Jazz have been so good, and they may have the best team chemistry of all. And because when you look at their roster, you kind of think if if you were living under a rock and just saw their roster and had no idea what was going on in the NBA, you'd probably think, oh, they're probably just I don't know, like a 6 seed or around there. But they have just been so good. Like Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, and all the other guys. They have something together, and they all have a connection, and it's really working for them.
Absolutely.
It doesn't even make sense. Like no one, at least I didn't predict this. I did not predict this.
Absolutely not. Me neither. And I mean, my favorite, who's he's instantly become one of my favorite players in the NBA, singing 50-year-old Mike Conley Jr. Who would have thought that out of all of the players in the NBA, he'd be one of the key pieces on the best team in basketball? Man, he's instantly one of my favorites at this point. I think you're right. I think they get the depth. I know Donovan Mitchell is expected to play game 1 after his ankle injury, but either way, I think I agree with you. I think the Jazz take it over whoever ends up winning at that one. So we are both going to say Utah Jazz for round 1, but next up is a tough one, Cade. Luka Doncic and his Dallas Mavericks going up against the Los Angeles Clippers, who I don't think any of us had predicted were going to be ahead of the Lakers, much less by 3 playoff spots. What do you think about this one, Cademan?
The Clippers have been really good. They were really good last year, and Luka Doncic has also been really good. We knew the Mavericks were going to be good, and he's still leading their team. I think this is going to be a really tough series, but I think the Clippers are going to take it, considering they've maybe more depth. I would say I think they had the most playoff depth. I think we put it last year, and I think they still have most of that depth. So I'm going Clippers on this one.
Yeah, this one's definitely going to be close. Man, the Mavericks, I mean, everyone talks about Doncic, but they've got other good players too. They got Porzingis, who's finally resurrecting his career after who knows how many injuries stuck in New York. And then also Tim Hardaway Jr. has turned out to be a fine guard as well. So, man, this is definitely a really tough one, but I'll go Clippers as well. We know how good they can be in playoff form. I think it'll take them a game or two to find their form. I think they split it 1-1 to start off the series, but I think once the Clippers get on a runaway train, I think they're gone to the next round. So I will say Los Angeles Clippers as well. But the next one it's a little weird. You've got the Denver Nuggets going up against the Portland Trailblazers. Cademan, is Dame time going to continue, or will future MVP, obviously, Nikola Jokic, help the Nuggets roll to the next round?
Oh, man, it's tough to say, but because this is, I feel like, a really even matchup. We got Damian Lillard, who for a time was making an MVP case. And like you said, the Joker, who I think should be MVP. Right now, honestly, their stats aren't too different. They're actually pretty similar in a lot of areas. AJ, what do you think on this one?
Man, it's definitely going to be really tough. The Trailblazers have a lot more depth than you'd expect them to, with Carmelo Anthony and Anthony Simmons coming off the bench as well. So it's definitely a little bit of a deeper team than just, Dame time and CJ McCollum. But the Nuggets have really good depth too. I mean, I know they lost to the Trailblazers right before the season ended, but come on. Jokic got 17 minutes. They weren't actually playing to win that game. I think the Nuggets are going to take it. This is just what we see them do every single year. Aaron Gordon now on the team. Nikola Jokic, I think they win this one. I really, really love Paul Millsap off the bench for them. I think he's going to be a great role player and an important one in the playoffs as well. I think the Nuggets are going to take it over the Trailblazers, but they're not going to go down without a fight. I think the series goes to 6, maybe 7, but I take the Nuggets. What about you?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking the Nuggets. Nothing against Dame. He's been amazing, and I could definitely see him beating the Nuggets. But I think the Nuggets, honestly, both of these teams have depth, but I think the Nuggets have more, and the MVP is going to win it.
Yeah. Moving on, Phoenix Suns going up against either the LA Lakers for me and the Golden State Warriors for you. Cade, I don't think anybody saw the Suns coming out as a 2 seed. A 2 seed. We thought this was going to be like what? Lakers, Clippers, Jazz, Nuggets maybe. But this is instead Jazz and then Suns at number 2. Do you think they're able to roll over, in your opinion, the Golden State Warriors?
Yes. The way Chris Paul has been playing is amazing. Like I think he was also making a MVP case for a little while, and he's been amazing. I mean, his shooting, his percentages, and everything have gone way up. He's leading the team, and Devin Booker also a key factor on their team.
Yeah,
both of those guys they don't slow down. The team keeps moving, and I think if it's the Lakers or Warriors, I think they're gonna win it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be really interesting, especially if they're able to get DeAndre Ayton back for game 1 as well, because that could really help set the tone for how the series goes. I think if it is the Warriors, like you say, it's going to be. I think the Suns take this one pretty handily. I think their offensive chemistry is really good, and I think they'll be good enough on defense to be able to hold down Curry enough to stop them. If it's the Lakers though, I'm going to be honest, this gets really, really interesting to me. If the Lakers end up getting the 7 seed, because I think they have a very, very good shot at actually knocking off the Phoenix Suns. I think that they have a very good starting lineup as long as they get LeBron back, because they'll have LeBron, they'll have Andre Drummond, they'll have Anthony Davis, they'll probably have Alex Caruso starting, and Kyle Kuzma or Kentavious Caldwell-Pope coming in as well. I think that's a team that can knock off the Phoenix Suns. That's a team with playoff experience. It's a team coming off of the NBA Finals. I think if this is the Lakers, I think they upset the Suns and move to play the Nuggets in the next round. But if it's the Warriors, I agree with you. I'm going to go Phoenix Suns there. So that's our first split. Cade.
Yep.
So that is our Western Conference predictions. For now, we're going to go ahead and move to the East, scooting right along. First of all, 76ers. Can we get this one out of the way? 76ers are going to beat either the Wizards or the Pacers. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough. Do we need to talk about that one that much?
I mean, can I just ask, I'm not super informed about this, but I saw that Joel and Ben Simmons were both out on the finale. Are they going to be in, or what's with them?
They're going to be fine. They're just resting them for the end of the year. They're both fit to play.
Typical, typical stuff.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, they'd already locked up the 1 seed.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Atlanta Hawks versus New York Knicks. That's going to be.
We were split on this one.
I think we were.
Yeah. What do you think,
AJ,
Cade?
Okay. Yeah,
You go first. Yeah, go ahead. Take it away.
This is one of those hard ones where the teams look basically the exact same, honestly. And, I mean, both of these teams have they haven't been the best, but they've been pretty consistent through the year, which is kind of what you look for. When I'm looking at these teams, man, it is hard to choose. And I think I'm going to go Knicks.
You changed.
I think – was I saying Hawks before?
Yeah, when we talked yesterday or 2 days ago, you said Hawks initially.
Oh, crazy man I am.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going Knicks.
Really?
Just slightly better regular season record. Oh, and I don't know why, but that didn't make sense. I was gonna go Hawks for a reason, because their offensive stats are way better.
Yeah.
Like by far, the Knicks offense is like a Warriors offense. It's not consistent. Their defense is way better, but you know what? I am gonna stick to my original pick, AJ, the Hawks.
Switching back again. Okay.
I am.
For me, I'm gonna go with the Knicks. I like the Hawks a lot, and this is really cool to see a matchup where 2 teams who didn't even make the bubble last year are now facing off in a mid-level round for the playoffs. So it's definitely fun to watch, but I think the Knicks are going to be able to take this one. They've got Julius Randle, who got an all-star and absolutely deserved it this year. He dominated. And then you've also got RJ.
AJ Herschel is cutting out, but one more reason I picked the Hawks is because, what was it? The Knicks have not been in the playoffs for 8 years. And they're in now, but they're not going to go anywhere.
Interesting.
AJ, back to
you. What was the last thing I said before I cut out?
The Knicks. You were talking about them.
They got Julius Randle. They got RJ Barrett coming out, who's been an incredible role player. And I think they have the defense to get it done. I mean, the Hawks do have Bogdanovic, who's been playing extremely well, especially late in the year. And Trae Young can just completely turn on whenever he wants to absolutely dominate scoring points. But I mean, the Knicks also have Reggie Bullock, who I really, really like a lot, who I've liked ever since he came into the NBA. And it's great to see him finally getting to actually thrive on a team where he could do well. I think this is a defensive team that's going to play well in the paint, especially on the inside on defense. And I think they'll be able to lock up on Trae Young enough because he's great, but he's also not super consistent in his point output either. So I'm going to go with the Knicks here. This is another one where we're going to be split on, but this is definitely going to be one of the closer matchups, I think. I think we're both saying here.
I think so. Yep. All right, well, now for my number 3 seed Milwaukee Bucks versus the Miami Heat, and I am looking to get some big revenge on them. They don't have Jimmy Butler, which should make it all the more easier. And I'm pretty confident we're gonna take it to the Heat this time.
Yeah, I think this one's probably going to be over pretty quickly.
I'm guessing 5 games.
5 games. I could definitely see that. I mean, there is the chance that Butler could come back. I mean, it was a eye issue, I think it was, if I remember correctly.
I think it was maybe back. I don't know.
Oh, yes, it was his back. You're right. He had a back problem. That's what it was. He had back spasms, I think it was, or a contusion, whichever. And they don't have Victor Oladipo either. I just don't trust the Heat's depth here. I think they're banged up. I think you're right. I think the Bucks take this one pretty handily.
Yep. And we got Lightning Bauer, who agrees. Let's go Bucks.
Yep. There we go. And finally, the last round, the Brooklyn Nets versus the Boston Celtics. What do you think, Cademan?
Well, Jason Tatum always is amazing in the playoffs.
True.
But and this makes it harder because he's been amazing in the playoffs. And James Harden is now coming back after being injured. And this is I think I heard last week or 2 weeks ago was the first time that all the big 3 had been together since March something. So it's been a while since they've all been there together. And hopefully they still got that team chemistry. And I don't know, man. They were still looking good without James Harden.
Yeah.
And you add him, and it's a good team. That's the best 3 in the league, I'd say.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If they're healthy working together, I agree.
If they're healthy, yep.
Man.
That makes it so hard because it just depends on how the big 3 are playing together, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Very true. Very true. Look, I think here's the thing. I think the Nets are going to take this one. I think they take it in 5 or 6 games, 6 games max. I don't see this going to 7. And here's why. Everybody's healthy on their roster that they need to be healthy. They have incredible depth. When they're playing well, they're playing out of their minds. Of course, I've seen some games where the Nets just forget how to shoot sometimes and turn it over left and right. But still, Kevin Durant's going to play great. Kyrie Irving is going to play great. And I think that they will be fine. And here's the thing. We talk about the big 3 of both teams. The Celtics aren't going to have their big 3. Sure, they have Tatum. Sure, they have Walker, but Jaylen Brown's done for the year. That is the nail in the coffin for me, and that's why I'm going to say the Nets take it handily. I think that I agree. I think they have trouble for 1 or 2 games with that great offense, but other than that, I think I'm shipping the Nets to the next round pretty easily.
Yeah, and all those big 3 have had a ton of playoff experience, so that just makes it all the more fun. And I think the Nets do take this one 6 games.
Yeah, and especially because this is going to be a team where Harden still hasn't seen the light of day of a finals for years. Durant, of course, is going to want to get another one, and Irving's been wanting to get one for years without having to be quote unquote carried by LeBron or whatever. So all of them are going to be hungry for an NBA Finals championship as well. That's going to set up a beautiful matchup in the next round, though. That is going to be fun to watch. Brooklyn and Milwaukee going head to head.
That's going to be crazy. I am hoping we can take it to them, because if we don't, if we make it 7 games and then we go play the Sixers, that's a lot. This is why being a 1 seed is nice. You play the bad teams first.
Yep, there you go.
Hey, so I'm hoping those Celtics can take out those Nets. Let's go Celtics.
Very true. So we're saying Nets, Celtics, 6 games, Bucks, Heat, 5 games, right? We think?
Yeah, I think 5
Hawks,
games.
Knicks. I think this goes 7. Whichever way it goes, I think it goes 7.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
What about you? What do you think for that series?
Yeah, for that game series, either 6 or 7.
Yep, and 6 or sweep, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then finally, Western Conference again. We think Jazz. I'm thinking 5 games probably, maybe 6, but that's 5. A long shot. Yeah, I think Clippers Mavs is going to be 6 games. What about you?
Yeah, 6 or 7, but each game is going to be so close. It's going to be a constant battle, and that's going to be maybe the best first round series to watch.
Oh, absolutely. And then Nuggets Blazers. How many games do you think this goes, dude?
I think 6, but I think
6.
I think that they're all going to be really close, except maybe like one probably just one is going to be Nuggets take it. But I think this, I don't know, the Western Conference first round, I think it's going to be a little bit more interesting than the Eastern.
Well, we all knew that was going to happen, though.
We all knew.
I mean, there's maybe one really interesting round in the Eastern Conference with Hawks and Knicks, but then you get to the West, everything's interesting there. Anything could go down as usual. Yep. So just to recap all of our predictions, Jazz make it handily, Clippers make it with a little bit of trouble. Nuggets should be able to hang on. We're split on Suns and Lakers. Since I predict the Lakers to get the 7 seed, I'm predicting them to upset the Suns in 7. Kate thinks it's going to be the Warriors who will fall to them in the next round. Eastern Conference, Sixers, we both say will sweep. We both think Knicks Hawks is going to go to 7 games, but Caveman's team Hawks, I'm with the Knicks on this one, and Thibodeau and their group. Then finally, Bucks Heat, we think is going to be easy for Milwaukee, and Nets versus Celtics. We're both pretty sure that the Nets are going to take that one, and also for the play-in that the Pacers are going to knock off the Wizards, unless you're Caveman, who thinks Russell Westbrook's going to make it instead. But either way, those are our first round predictions for the NBA playoffs. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, Kate, it's halftime. The Grizzlies are up 56-49. I think we got this one. I think we're going to get this one.
Oh, come on.
We'll see.
7 points.
We'll see.
Spurs are gonna go up. DeMar DeRozan only has 6 points, and he's gonna start flying. He's start flying. He's gonna score like 30 points this half, bro. He's gonna go.
If you say
so.
Grizzlies
say bye-bye. Say bye-bye.
All right, and final predictions for Lakers Warriors tonight to finish us off. I say Lakers win 116-110. What do you think?
I say Warriors win 125. Whoa, 121. High scoring game. 125-121. It's going to be a good game.
All right.
Good game.
Well, definitely everybody be sure to tune into that. And also be sure to tune into the Allied Rivals podcast. You want to be subscribed with notifications on whenever we're going live, like one of these episodes. We'll definitely be following the NBA playoffs, probably be giving round by round predictions. So you definitely want to be here for that. Leave your predictions in the comments below. What do you think is going to happen in the NBA playoffs? Is your team even in? What do you think about the play-in? Is it stupid? Is it smart? Let us know what you guys think in the comments below.
Stupid.
Cayman, anything else you want to finish us off with before we head out?
Stupid.
All right. We'll see you guys next time on the one and only Allied Rivals podcast.
See
you next. We're not in sync this time. I'm just gonna play the outro. All right, moving on.
Nice shot.
Nice on. That's the dang it.
Hello, rivals.
What a catch.
What a throw.
What a hit.
Get him.